Alright, in this lesson we're going to take a look really quickly at how to build a timer. Anytime that we want to keep track of time, we can use this code that's in this little program here that we're going to take and create. To start with, all I've done is take and put a text field onto the stage. All this text field is going to do is going to count down from 30. And that's what we're going to do with this particular text field. So I put this text field on the stage. I've named it doc time. You can name it whatever you want, as long as it's not a keyword. So all we have is a text field. And then I've just got a couple scripts here that we'll take a look at. I put a marker at frame 2. We're going to set up a little loop here so that it keeps running. Then I took and added the first script in frame 1 of the script channel. So if I double click on that, I created a variable called countdown. Okay, and this is the variable that will keep the amount of time left. Now I'm counting down. We can use the same thing for counting up. So I created the variable. We're going to set the timer. Set the timer at 30 seconds. Okay, that's what this does. Is I'm going to take and put 30 in there as the value, so it gives me 30 seconds. And then I'm just going to put that value, which will be 30 when we first start up, into the memory called doc time. So it's going to take and display. Okay, it'll display the value of countdown. Okay, so that's what that's going to do. And then here's the command that's going to start the timer. Okay, starts the timer. Now, timer is something that's built into Director. We didn't have to declare it, we didn't have to make it, we didn't have to do anything. It's already there, so it just starts the timer. Now, the timer, how the timer works is it counts by 1/60th of a second. Okay, so it increments by 1/60th of a second. So we have to do a little math here to figure out how much time there is. But when the timer reaches the value of 60, 1 second has passed. Okay, so maybe I'll put that in here. When timer reaches 60, 1 second has passed. Okay, so we have to know that in order to make this work correctly. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're taking and we're just creating a variable. We're putting 30 into the variable because we're going to start with 30. We're going to count down from 30 seconds. We're going to display that when we first start, and then we're going to start the timer. We're going to start the timer counting. Okay, so that's what happens when we initially start. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make a movie script. Okay, because I want to take and keep displaying this timer as it goes. So I'm going to create a movie script. The movie script I'm going to create is called exit frame. Okay, so in order to get this movie script, what I had to do is I had to hit the plus symbol to get a new cast member. I type in on exit frame, and then I come over here to the script type and change it to movie. Remember, we did that in the previous lesson. So this is a movie script. It still says on exit frame, just like our other script did. The difference is, because this is a movie script, it means that whenever this condition exists in the movie, we want the script to execute. So this script is going to execute each frame. And that's important. We're going to use a lot of these in our upcoming lessons, because there's a lot of times when we want to check things every frame. I think we did this in the Mom, He's Touching Me movie too. We had the on exit frame movie script. So we've got that. Here's our variable again. That's our variable that holds the amount of time. Okay. Now, here is where we're taking and counting it down. Okay, so we're counting it down. So this value here, the timer, Okay, that's the value that's in the timer right now. Okay, that's what the value is that's in there. And because every 60 represents 1 second, we're going to divide it by 60. So if it's equal to 60, you divide by 60, that means 1 second has went by. So this is how we take and figure out how much time has elapsed when we're going to do like whole seconds here. Okay. Now notice I've got some parentheses here. I've got the timer. Okay, that's the value that I want to take and divide. Okay. So I've got the timer divided by 60. I want that to happen first, so I put it in quotes again. And then I want that value to be subtracted from 30. If we don't put all these quotes in here, we're going to get the wrong kind of math. The math is going to happen in the wrong order. So we want to make sure that we get this math done correctly. So the new value that's going to go into countdown will be the 30 seconds we started with, minus whatever the amount of time on the timer is. Okay, so we're going to subtract the timer from our upper limit, which was 30 seconds. And then we're going to take and display the time that is left. That's what this next line does. Okay. Now it's important this has to be in the movie script, and it's got to be a non-exit frame movie script, so it runs every frame. Okay. Now remember, the timer counts by 1/60th of a second. That's why we got to divide by 60. So when it counts to 60, 1 second went by. So 60 divided by 60 would be 1. So 30 minus 1 would be 29. It would be 29 seconds left, and that's what should occur. Now in our script, we got one more script here. I've got a script out here at the end of the timeline. All that does is tell it to go back to the marker starting. So it just loops back. That's all it's going to do. Okay. Alright, now if I can find my text box again. Here it is. I'm going to rewind it. We'll hit play. And there it goes. It's counting down. 30, 29, 27, and it just keeps counting down. Pretty cool. We just built a timer that counts down from 30 seconds. We can take this code now, we can use it any place we want. Okay. If you take that code and you want it to be from 60 seconds, all we have to do is change the 30s to the 60s. Okay. And really, a better way to write this code would be to add another variable. Starting, I'll just call it, let's call the variable start time. Oops, I guess start time is a key word. Let's what would be a good one? With S time, okay? And I'll just return here and say countdown equals S time. Then in that very first script here, where we initialize things, oh, that's where we are in S time. Okay, we'll just say S time equals 30. Okay, this is the starting value of the timer. So now if we want to repurpose this code, use it in other places, instead of going in and changing all the 30s, we just change S time. Okay, and here countdown equals 30. Instead of 30, we just say S time, and we add S time into the variables. Okay, now if I want the timer, now the timer still works the way it did before. Let's rewind here. It's I gotta find it again. It's counting down. Okay, still works the same way. If I go in the startup script now, though, and let's say I want the timer to be 60 seconds. All I have to do is change that 60. And if I come back out here, rewind and play, it now starts counting down from 60. So I can use this